Hi, I'm Dr. Haley Perlus, and welcome to today's Mental Toughness Moment. Today, it is time to learn from one of the great tennis players of all time, Novak Djokovic. And he says something that I wholeheartedly agree. We're always telling ourselves, we're always hearing coaches say to their athletes or parents say to their children, be positive, think positively, just look always on the bright side. And what Novak Djokovic says, which I actually completely agree with, is that it's not always about thinking positively. And I want to quote him. I'm going to read this whole thing because I want to get it right. He says, "You have your doubts and fears. I feel it every single match. I don't like this kind of mindset that I see a lot in sports, like just think positive thoughts, be optimistic. There's no room for failure. There is room for doubts, and stuff like this. It's impossible. You are a human being." And I say it with a smile on my face because when I was watching this interview, it made me smile. I loved it. It's unfortunate that we think that we have to be positive all the time because it's just not fair to us to try to be like that. Things don't always go our way. Things sometimes, if I can be so blunt, suck. And it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be worried. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be anxious momentarily. In fact, well, yes, it's human. So, it's just inevitable sometimes. But also sometimes those emotions can actually ignite us, can actually motivate us. We can use them for good. The trick is to not live there. And I want to go on with Novak Djokovic's quote because it, again, says it all in my opinion. He says, "The difference, I guess, between the guys who are able to be biggest champions and the ones that are struggling to get to the highest level is the ability to not stay in those emotions for too long, those negative emotions. So for me," he says, "it's really relatively short. So as soon as I experience it, I acknowledge it, I maybe burst, I scream out on the court, whatever happens, but then I'm able to bounce back and reset." Now, he does go into how he isn't necessarily proud of some of the way he vents. He's been known to break a racket or two, and he does talk about the shame. And it would be nice, to maybe change that type of behavior, but we still need to vent. We still need to have that outburst. We still need to feel those unpleasant emotions and then quickly reset, quickly rebounce. So the first thing that today's mental toughness is about is first understanding that we're human and that it is okay to feel those unpleasant emotions of fear and anger and frustration and worry and sadness and defeat and despair. If we can use them to our advantage to ignite us, to motivate us, wonderful. To learn something, wonderful. And then we need to transition out. And if it's not serving us in the moment, then we just need to get out. And one of the great ways that Novak Djokovic does this, which is the second part of today's mental toughness moment, is with conscious breathing. Now, it's conscious because we are all subconsciously automatically breathing no matter what. We're alive, we're breathing. But to help it to create some calm and peace so that we can reset and then begin to become more positive and optimistic in our thinking, we need to intentionally push ourselves to take a deep breath. And one of the ways we can do that is by intentionally bringing our breath from here, where it would be shallow, right into our core, our diaphragm, which would be deep, and really bringing in a nice deep inhale to really reap the psychological, emotional, and physical benefits of a conscious, deep breathing. And a great friend once told me that one way to think about taking a conscious, deep breath is to pretend your core is like a bucket with two handles. And when you inhale, you feel it's almost like you're using those handles to come on up. So breathing from all aspects of your diaphragm. And then when you exhale, those, handles will go back down. When you consciously deep breathe, and if you have 5 seconds, you have 5 seconds. If you have 1 minute, you have 1 minute. Great. If you have 1 second, just take a deep breath in from your diaphragm. That automatically will start to help you transition out of those unpleasant emotions and get into now what we do want, which is more of an optimistic, positive, ready to move forward step by step mindset. If you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Leave them in the space provided. Go to my website at drhaleyperlus.com, ask me a question, connect with me, get some weekly updates. And until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day.